All right, family. Sorry about that. I just woke up, want to do this new cast before we go out to work. So today is April 19th, 2021. And let's go ahead and get it started with another Smelling Gamma News. As you see, family, let's look across the board. The futures have been mixed. S&P is down. Dow is down. NASDAQ is up. Russell's 2000 futures are up. All right, so we got a little bit of mixture across the board when it comes to futures. All right, look at the FTSE 100 and the Nikkei 225. They're both running up. Take a look at the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 50 up a little bit over 57,000, and CMC crypto is down, running about negative 8660. All right, so it's running negative a little bit. All right. So let's look at that 10-year bond. We see 10-year bond has dropped to 1.5730. Keep an eye on that one. You got the VIX is up as well too. The VIX is at up a little bit plus 0.45. You see the GBP to the US dollars up, but the US dollar to Japanese yen is running down. All right, so take a look at that. That was from a little bit of news from YahooFinance.com. Look at the markets ahead of time before the open here. Excuse me, in the US at East Coast time 9:30 a.m. All right, so that's from YahooFinance.com. Let's get over to Kitco.com. We're going to look at here the markets, spot price for precious metals, what is happening. All right, as you can see, gold is up, silver is down, platinum is up, and palladium is up, and rhodium is at 28,200. All right, 20,200. All right, we're gonna pay attention to that gold ratio. Look at it again. Silver at 68.74. So that means take 68.74 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. All right. Oh, we got a switch here. All right. It went down 68.70 ounces per gold. So keep an eye on that silver to gold ratio. Okay. We're looking to get down to a equilibrium of about 8. In true equilibrium of gold will be about anywhere from 8 to 15 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. All right. Keep looking out on that one. All right. So let's take a look from the metals market for World Finance's Kitco.com. All right. So that was from Kitco.com as well. Right. So now let's get into the actual news article. And when you know it, here we go. This is what we've been kind of waiting for. 2.3 quadrillion global time bomb. All right, so here we go. Admitted the world is in a financial time bomb. Thanks to all these shenanigans, these hooplas they want to play. Look at this, family. All right, from Credit Suisse is ours. This was from this past Friday. All right, Credit Suisse is hours from collapse, and consequences could be systematic failure of the financial system. All right, that is worldwide. All right, and it goes all the way down to like even a few. Read this part right here. As I warned in last week's article, Angelinos and Credit Suisse investment banks have created a time bomb with the 1.5 quadrillion derivatives monster. All right. I remember a few years. I wrote down an article a few years ago. The Bank of International Settlement. All right. That's the BIZ. So if you the acronym BIZ, there you go. The Bank of International Settlement. All right. They reduced the 1.5 quadrillion to 600 trillion with a stroke of a pen. All right, so they reduced their balance sheet, their debt from 1.5 quadrillion to 600 trillion with the stroke of a pen. All right, they just simply wrote off the debt. All right, but that 1.5 quadrillion at the time, hey, that didn't go away. It's still there. All right, and even today, the real number is that according to this news article, $2 quadrillion of global debt is out there in the world. This is unsustainable, and the questions we need to be asked. The numbers they're telling us in the so-called mainstream media are less than this. And still into the trillions of dollars, about about $30 trillion. If they're hiding the $2 quadrillion, who's calling in all this debt? Why is anybody in the mainstream so-called media asking the question, who do we owe this debt to? All right. How are they leveraging all this money? All right. So it even goes down here to people's favorite bank that's in trouble right now. All right, Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank has outstanding derivatives of 37 trillion euros against this. It's taking 62 billion euros. All right, thus the derivative position is 600 times the equity. All right, that's unsustainable when you can't stand that. All right, so you get a hold of this article here. The 2.3 quadrillion global time bomb. All right, that is the world debt right now. 2.3 quadrillion global time bomb. You don't even have that on the U.S. Global debt clock. All right. So that's a little bit behind. But this article is admitting right here. This is from goldswitzerland.com that the world is in a 2.3 quadrillion global time bomb. All right, quadrillion, not $1 trillion, quadrillion. All right, this is unsustainable and that can never be repaid. And the question asked, who do we owe this money to? All right. And speaking of that one, here we go. Our favorite nation of hoarding gold is on back in the mark, back online again. All right. Well, the second favorite, because the first favorite is China, is India. They love hoarding gold, but China's right behind them. All right. Sorry about that. Gold. China back on the gold buying spree. Opens borders to 8.5 billion worth of shiny metal reports. All right. So we got it here. China's back on the market for buying gold. They were accumulating silver. I guess they might accumulate more of the silver that they wanted, but they're back on the gold spree now. All right, especially with the U.S. constantly just in the rest of the world is in constant stimulus mode, just helicopter money everywhere, and the value of every currency in the world is now dropping like flies. Everybody's masquerading this their currency up, but in fact, the precious metal market is being pressed down, and it's going to be pressed down and pressed down until it can no longer be pressed anymore. All right, we've already had the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, already come out and fully admit that there is a silver shortage around the world. All right, so if they're beginning to admit this, stand by because it is coming. The precious metal prices cannot be held back for much longer. All right, so get it while you can get it. All right, before you wake up the next morning, you're looking at an ounce of copper is at $500 an ounce. An ounce of silver is sitting at $6,000 an ounce. An ounce of gold, for all intents and purposes, is sitting at about $50,000 to $60,000 an ounce, and it just keeps going up and up and up. All right. So go ahead and get this one. China starts to buy more gold. All right, 8.5 billion worth of the shiny metal. That's what they're reporting. But most times they don't report the truth because they don't want anybody to know what they're doing. They just give out a number, but in fact, they probably open up to even more than that. All right, so go ahead and get this article. All right, this is from rt.com, www.rt.com. All right, and back here home in the U.S., if things ain't gotten worse, here we go. GM and Ford cutting production at several North American plants due to a chip shortage. All right, there's some chips that go into their cars. These chips, if they were made here in the U.S., they wouldn't have to worry about. But due to the outsourcing of our economy in the 80s and the 90s, you have this right here. So whenever we have issues overseas with stuff for here in the U.S., it affects us here. All right. So the chips that are being made in a foreign country, I can't right off the bat remember which country it is, but these chips are made of foreign of overseas. All right, and they're hurting production in the U.S. and it's causing GM and Ford to shut plants down. All right, it's all right. This is some of the key points. The company expects GM and Ford temporarily idling internal extending downtimes for several plants. So they've already had several plants that are shut down, and they're just going to extend them left and right. All right, so we get into it here. All right, we go a little bit down here. All right, GM. All right, as you see, GM will also restart production Monday with mid-sized pickup trucks after 2 weeks shutdown due to the shortage plant in Missouri. All right, so they shuttered it down, but now they're going to restart some of the plants in Missouri. All right, Ford has announced additional plant downtime, so I mean they're going to shutter their plants from 2 plants in Illinois and Missouri. All right, and they were temporarily shutting its flat rock assembly plant in Michigan for a week, beginning on Monday. All right. All right, so this is really big. This is happening. All right, you keep going down here a little bit more. This is some more Ford news. All right, they're canceling all overtime for their Chicago assembly plant. They produce SUVs, and Kansas City are plans for their vans. All right, and even then they're closing down. They're gonna cut production for their scheduled Ohio assembly plants. All right, where the large trucks are built. All right, and it says they could lower its earnings by 1 billion to 2.5 billion in 2021. All right. So go ahead and get this news. Go ahead and get this article here. This is from CNBC.com. All right, look at some of the big major auto companies in the U.S. are going to be shutting down their plants. All right. All right. And for our final story today, this is for our brothers and sisters, our family members. If you got family members out in the West Coast, all right. This is from ZeroHedge.com, and this is a big one. All right. This came out yesterday morning while most people weren't paying attention. Western states prepare for the first ever water source declaration. Hoover Dam and hydroelectric generation at risk. All right. So due to water shortages, not much rainfall to get it, not much ice melting from the mountain areas, all right, and shortage of rainfall, the Hoover Dam hasn't been able to replace its water supply. It hasn't been to raise its water levels, so water supply to go out to the dry states, the mountain and west states. All right, and you're looking at a water shortage coming up. All right, this is pretty big. We wanted to cover this, so expect water prices to go up, your water bills to go up, mandatory water hours kicking in, coming into effect, and people they already have water shaming in California. Expect to start seeing that in Arizona, Nevada as well too. Where if you water your yard, some neighbor's going to call and water shame you, get your HOA on you. If you're not in the HOA, you probably call the water authorities on you, so-called water authorities to come in and tell you what you're doing is wrong, facing even fines and everything else. All right. All right, and here we go right here. According to the Associated Press, the Bureau of Reclamation 24-month project released a forecast that less water flow from the Rocky Mountains through Lake Powell and Lake Mead into the southwest desert regions of the Gulf of California. The two lakes are expected to suffer from water shortages that could threaten the supply of the Colorado River, which forms the sprawling cities rely on. All right, so these major cities, they take up a lot of water and expect that to go down below. If you live in these major cities, expect your water bills to jump sky high and expect your use of water hours coming in real soon. Expect draconian water hours. All right. If you go down here, it says Lake Mead is projected to fall below 1,705 feet for the first time in June 2021. That's the peak summer hours. All right. This is the beginning of the summer heat. All right. And shortage declarations is under agreement. All right. The level at which would trigger the shortage declaration under agreement negotiated by 7 states, according to which are reliant on the Colorado River water: Arizona, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. All right. So this is serious out there. Expect bottled water to go up. Expect prices to just go sky high with your water bills and everything else. And expect draconian water hours. All right. So go ahead and get that article. That's from zerohedge.com. Expect first ever water declaration in the desert in the west coast and some of the mountain states. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank you for joining us in another edition of Melody Economic News. You are your own best banker. Become your own best credit union. Become your own best savings and loans. You're your own best financier. Now more than ever, get together and get that barter system started with your neighbors. Get your community together, barter system. Reach out to other communities, get the barter system started, especially with looming water shortages. All right, this has been coming on for years, and now it's finally here. All right. So with that being said.